Hi everyone, my name is Rami. I'm one of the co-directors of this year's SciTech conference. I'm currently a junior at MIT studying computer science, and I'm originally from Aleppo, Syria. And I'm here just to explain a little bit about what we're doing and introduce some of the keynote speakers this morning. So you might have seen all over the place this Inspire, Ideate, Impact. We have it on our lanyards, we have it on the walls, on the app, everywhere. And it's the motto we made for this year's SciTech conference. And it's inspired by our vision, and I'll explain all of that stuff in a minute. But first, I'd like to tell you about one word that didn't make it to this phrase that we made. And that word is hack. For publicity reasons, it doesn't usually get a good rep, and the fact that it doesn't start with an I and everything, we didn't choose it. But yeah, hacking gets a lot of bad press. We hear about hackers all the time, bringing down governments, costing companies billions of dollars, and wreaking all kinds of havoc. And that's what we call black hat hacking, or at MIT, cracking. But at MIT, hacking, or being a hacker has a different meaning. It first appeared in 1955, before computers were really a thing. And it first appeared actually at MIT. There's this club called the Tech Model Railroad Club. And a lot of the innovation, it was a student club, and a lot of the innovations for computers appeared at that club. And it read in one of their meeting minutes that Mr. Eccles requests that anyone working or hacking on the electrical system turn the power off to avoid fuse blowing. So as you can see, it has nothing to do with bringing down networks. And since then, it's taken on a lot of different meanings, even at MIT. According to the MIT student handbook that every student receives, hacking can be defined as either the curious exploration of MIT's campus, usually at night, or the design and implementation of harmless pranks, tricks, and creative inventions that demonstrate ingenuity and cleverness. You can ask any MIT student, and they'll tell you at least a few stories about hacking. There's a New Yorker article that tracked the history of the word. And this is where it starts to get interesting. There's this jargon file, a glossary for computer programmers in 1975. And the definition transformed into, for a hacker, a person who enjoys exploring the details of programmable systems and how to stretch their capabilities, as opposed to most users who prefer to learn only the minimum necessary. And then it even evolved some more, the definition for hacker, and according to the American Dialect Society, a hacker is a person who's working on a tech problem in a different, presumably more creative way than what's outlined in an instruction manual. And this is the meaning that we're going for. This is at the heart of the culture at MIT, and with it comes a belief and a mission almost, that you can, and that is in fact your duty, to hack the world. And in our case here at SciTech, the mission really is to hack the MENA region. How can we use technology in a different, more creative way than what's in the instruction manual? But that was an aside, and let me get back to the motto that we currently have, which is really the vision behind this conference. So being Arab students at MIT, we observed a few things. First, that there are many, many problems in the MENA region, and I don't need to explain them to you. Second, that there are a lot of bright people who want to make a change, and some of them are. But it's usually there's a misalignment of incentives, or there's just, for some reason it's just not happening as much as it should. And the third realization is that there are a lot of conferences, especially focused on the region. But in our case, we didn't see that there was much coming out of them. And here at MIT, there's no tolerance for just talking about problems. We want to hack them, and we want to solve them. And with that, we have the vision of SciTech, which is to create a global network of students, entrepreneurs, researchers and innovators who are interested in using science and technology to transform or to hack the MENA region. And the vision starts at the SciTech conference, and that's the inspire part. What that means is that we've gathered the best speakers and panelists, the people who are actually, currently transforming the region, who are using technology in new and innovative ways, who are creating startups, who are doing research in order to solve these problems. And we've brought them here and we've curated them for all the attendees to see and for the world to see what they're doing and to inspire the rest of us. And then there's the ideate part. And for us, that's really the heart of the conference, is this Ideathon pitch competition. Some of you in this room are participating in the competition. We're launching it this year. And what it really is we want to get everyone in a room from different backgrounds, and we want them to think about the theme and think about how they can come up with the most radical ideas, the ideas that no one else can think of. Hopefully feasible ideas. In order to transform the region. So we have this competition, and currently this year, it's just happening here. It's just happening with the pioneers who decided to join us for this year's conference. But the vision really is to go global, is to take this idea of the Ideathon, of this motto behind the conference, of the culture at MIT, and sort of to export it, to go global, to cross borders with it, to connect the region with MIT and vice versa in this new way. And finally, there's the impact part. And this is where, after having been inspired, after having come up with your own ideas, to go back to the region and hopefully use, the money you win in the competition to start implementing your solution. We want you to leverage the network that you've started creating here in working with solutions. Because for us, networking is not just about knowing people, but it's about working together to solve problems. And that's really the core of this community that we're trying to build. As you can tell, we're still young. This is really, we started this conference last year. We were trying to explore what really the problem we were trying to solve with the conference was. And then we got back together and we came up with this idea. And this is the first year that we're really doing this. And so we want to thank you all for being really pioneers and joining us in trying to solve these problems. And, we believe that this is the start of something great. Now, let's get to something a bit more practical. The first step to building the network is to network at the conference. And so we have an app that we want everyone to use to start connecting with people. If you can scan this QR code if you haven't already. You can download the app and you can set up a profile and you can start meeting people. You can see all the agenda. And this leads me to just a bit an administrative note, which is throughout this conference, all the up-to-date information when it comes to agenda, if there's a time change or anything, is all going to happen primarily through the app and then through the website. One other quick note is that we're actually having a competition on the app. For this first day, the top 3 most meaningful contributors to the app, there's a lot of forums, you can post, you can comment, you can ask questions. The top 3 most meaningful contributors will be invited to a dinner with the SciTech team and with the speakers. So get buzzing on the app. That was just an overview of the theme of the conference and our vision. A little bit about the theme, envisioning the future of cities in MENA. Cities are the core of our lives, and there's rapid urbanization in the MENA region. And with that rapid urbanization comes many opportunities and many problems. And we're focusing on the topics of infrastructure, innovation, and energy, and how these 3 topics are influencing cities and how cities are changing within the perspective of these 3 topics. So the Ideathon competition will have a winner from each of those topics in order to really, we don't want one winner because we don't think one problem is more important than any other. Our belief is that these 3 topics are very pressing and that we really need ideas in these 3 concurrently.